Hello again. Just went backstage to check if any students are still there. They're still there. They'll be joining us shortly. Yes, about the annual awards this year. Before that, I just want to reflect when I listen to all these performances. And I go back in time a bit when people started learning. So even the very senior ones, like Bhairavi and Ranjan did a wonderful performance today. Similarly, yesterday, Anita and Rupa, they did a duet yesterday, which is also very well presented. And some of the intermediate, sub-senior level students as well. You can see that they grow from strength to strength. And I want to thank Kumudini for the pleasant surprise and for the kind words. I sort of expect students to do this every year. But coming from a parent, it was pretty good. And also her observation about not hand-feeding the students is a pretty important one. Because as always students know, it's important to self-learn. After a while, I stopped becoming a teacher, I become more of a coach. So it's important that people know how to self-learn, and for that they need to listen quite a lot. So all of these performances that you're hearing, there's a lot of listening that's gone into this. Many of the students record classes, and they listen to the classes and they improve their performances based on that. That's quite important. They also listen to other performers. They go to concerts regularly. Hopefully they have it on their iPods as well. So it's important to self-learn. There is no spoon feeding when it comes to monothermum. It is not possible. It shouldn't be done. It never happens with me. So it gives me great pleasure to see all this growth. The point is, I couldn't actually point out anybody who performed poorly at all over the 2 days, which is, just being very honest about it. There's no, I'm not being boastful, but it's absolutely being honest. I couldn't point out any poor performance, anybody who performed poorly. So the credit goes to the students for their sincerity, for their dedication. And I want to thank the parents as well one more time, because they have put in a lot of effort in this. They have supported the students through and through. It is not an easy task to bring them up with all the other pressures going around them and ensure that there is a priority for music in their lives. So well done to all the parents and the families as well. Yeah, in some cases not just parents, husbands as well, or wives, mostly husbands. The only other thing I want to say before I get on with the awards is, we do this every year. It is not an easy task for me. For the junior categories and the sort of, just before intermediate level categories. So beginners and junior, there are some levels in that. They all have theory test as well. So they all have written a theory exam without looking at the books. And then there's another aspect of it, which is how they perform in classes, how they improve, and my observations on their growth and their ability to do well. Apart from that, all the other categories, the intermediate and advanced intermediate and senior category levels, it's all more about how they carry themselves on stage, their overall attitude towards music. It has been very difficult. I think it won't be a surprise to people who, all of you who've been here for a couple of days, to know that it is very difficult to pick, some of the winners as such in many of the categories. So I have tried to do the best I can, because there has got to be some discrimination, and awards have to be given to those that not only perform well here on stage, but also put in the effort throughout the year, throughout the time they're in class, they're working at home, etc. And all of it put together is what has contributed to some of the decisions here. But having said that, before I get into the awards one more time, I just want to say to all the students, I'm proud of all of you. Every one of you makes me proud. There's no question about that. Sometimes with some of you, I do show my frustration because I wish you had put in a bit more effort or tried a bit harder or made less mistakes on stage, etc. But at the end of the day, I'm very proud of all of you. So if somebody does not win an award, does not in any way show that they're not a very good student or they don't have great potential in music. So now, with all of that, disclaimers. Now, going on to the award. So I'll start with the junior category, and there are several students in this category who are actually learning not from me, but learning from either Bhairavi or Anita or Rupa. And I also want to thank Bhairavi and Anita and Rupa at this time for doing a wonderful job of coaching them and teaching them. They have been doing that for the last couple of years, maybe, yeah, almost 2 years now, year and a half. And so they show a lot of passion for that, and they take a lot of pride in how their students perform, etc. So as a result of assessment based on theory exams, as well as my own observations on their performance, when I made them play in front of me, as well as what I see them do at concerts, I have decided on 3 students in the junior group 1 category who are winners. And they are Aberan Sri Sachindran, Nagasuma Sridhar, now, sorry, good reminder, thanks Sunita. Can I please request our chief guest, Shri Rashid Sultan, to come onto the stage and do the honors of giving the awards away. Thank you, Rashid ji. Okay. Aberan Sri Sachindran first. Nagasuma Sridhar. The next student is Shruti Mangalaganesh. I don't think Shruti is here. Actually, she hasn't performed this concert because I think they're overseas. So can I ask Shruti's teacher, Rupa Das, to come and accept the award on her behalf? The last winner in this group, Aishwarya Naguleshwaran.
Where are you?
So again, there are a few other students in this group. Everybody came very close. It was quite difficult. That's a credit to them as well as to Bhairavi, Anita, and Rupa. Going on to the slightly more advanced junior group, I call it junior group 2. Again, these students were assessed based on theory as well as practical formats. And there were 3 winners out of this. Again, I started out saying maybe 1 or 2, but every time I looked at, and assessed them and considered them again and again, I felt it was appropriate to award 3 in this group. The first winner in this group is Anjana Satyanarayana. And the second person who won in this group is Sahana Sukesh. And the third winner, or the equal third, or the third equal first winner is Aditi Achyuta Prasad. Okay, now we move on to the intermediate group of students, and these awards, by the way, are called Student of the Year. So each of them has got a Student of the Year award. Now, similarly, the Student of the Year in the intermediate category, there was no way known I could select one in this group. It was absolutely cutthroat competition. It was almost, I could have awarded this to the entire group, to be honest with you. On a day, we couldn't pick the winner. It was like that. So, and there was no theory paper in this, because that could have been a really telling difference, but there was no theory paper in this group. It was really based on my observations in class, based on their keenness, and how quickly they learn and they perform and they memorize, etc., etc. And their overall interest in music, how they make a priority of it in their lives. And based on this, I have selected 3 students as Student of the Year in the intermediate category. The first is Krishni Sanmugaraja. And by the way, I should say, students in this group generally are in the Varnam levels, are starting to learn some small kirtanas, but I also expect them to do monodharmam aspects like Raaga Alapana, and even some, to a certain extent, Kalpana Swarams, or some talams and some kirtanas, etc. Clearly they should be able to play Varnams in 2 speeds with proficiency, and also excel in Kalpana Swarams. Manodharma, particularly simple alapanas. So apart from Krishni, the other winners, the next winner in this intermediate category, Student of the Year award, is Vignesh Ashok. And the third person who's won this award this year is Sandeepan Pushparaj. Now, just a few more. Apart from these category awards, I have observed certain students, as far as their potential is concerned, and their sort of innate talent for music, and the growth they show, and the passion they have for it, whether it is vocal or violin. And I've called these talent recognition awards. These have been presented in past years as well to some students, and I've just gone back and looked at a few, and my faith has been vindicated in most cases. And I award somebody with this talent recognition, the talent comes through in the next few years. So based on this, I've looked at a few, and I've seen how they generally absorb music and are able to present quickly and impress me in class and also on stage. I've awarded this, I'm going to award this award to two people called Talent Recognition Award. The first is Sultan Murali Kumar. And the second person to win this is Sadvika Jayant. Now, apart from the awards, the trophy awards, now we have two certificate awards. Thanks to the kindness of two people who are very well associated with the school for a number of years and are well-wishers of the school, they have actually sponsored two awards in their names, or two certificates that we present every year. The first is sponsored by Dr. Jayant Bapat, who's a very close friend and also a well-wisher for the school and a big supporter. His certificate is called Dr. Jayant Bapat Certificate of Excellence, and it also carries a $100 cash prize with it. And this I generally award to a student who's sort of starting to raise the bar on others, leaving others behind, and basically cutting away from the field, so to speak. This year I've actually, for the past couple of years, keen observers will note that one person who's been doing extremely well year on year, month on month even, and is going to be a wonderful violinist one day, is Manisha Jyotil. Manisha is the winner of the Dr. Jayant Bapat Certificate of Excellence, which also includes $100 cash prize. And the second certificate is a recognition certificate, also sponsored by one of our well-wishers. It's called the T.P. Gopalakrishnan Certificate of Recognition, and I generally award this to somebody who's very good in Manojama aspects, in spontaneous creativity, imagination. This year I have decided to award this certificate to Devinya Kugadas. Devinya is actually not here. She's overseas in the UK having fun at a wedding. I think Devinya's grandma is here. Can you please come and collect the certificate for Devinya? That concludes the award and certificates presentation ceremony. Thank you, Rashid, for that. Now, we'll go back to the MCs. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very close to the end of the concert, but please stick